Good afternoon, all of you. We'll start now. Yesterday, we already gone through this basic diagram. This diagram is very important. On this diagram itself, how to calculate or how this particularly stress distribution or strain distribution is going to be. That is, or even certain formulae are calculated. And we already gone through. This is basically is the cross section, and you have this Venn diagram here. While this is the stress diagram, and you have this dimensions, and based on these values and dimensions, maximum value, you have to calculate other parameters. So we will see these things. Anyhow, basically in examination, mostly these this kind of derivation do not ask, but you should know what is the value, what is the value of this, what is the value of this, or what is the maximum stress distribution, what is the maximum strain distribution, what is epsilon SU, what is epsilon CU. So likewise, these values are very important, and you should know all those things. So we'll go one by one. So yesterday we have gone through Y bar, that how this particularly we got it. So if we just consider this F, that is 0.45 FCK. So 0.45 FCK is something is from coming out from this diagram itself. So we'll consider it. This Y bar, the value of Y bar is F. This F, that is 0.45 FCK, right, multiplied by 0.43 XU. So this is nothing but the area of rectangle. This is nothing but the area of the rectangle, and then 0.43 XU by 2. So this is the particularly for rectangle, or the CG is there. So if you just consider this rectangle, so you have this CG, and whatever the depth is there, so you will get the depth, that is 0.43 XU by 2. Similarly, this was for the rectangle portion, and similarly this total portion is for the parabolic part. So for parabolic part, what we will do, we will just consider the first of all, you should you should know that the first one, this term is the area, and this term is the distance of CG. Again, this term is the area, and this term is the distance of CG. So I'll just you can write down here area. This is area, and this is CG. Again, this is CG. So CG distance, again, this CG distance have been calculated from top of the fiber. So top of the fiber means, suppose this is the one, and from here, this CG will be calculated, the first CG and then second CG, because you got here this as this rectangle, and then up to this part you got here rectangle, and up to this neutral axis you got here parabolic part. So this is the neutral axis here, and for that we just consider that for this this is nothing but the stress distribution we have seen yesterday. So for this diagram, so for parabolic part, what is the area? Area is 2/3 into its width multiplied by the distance, that is 0.57 XU. So 0.57 XU, that is the distance here, and 3/8 into 0.57 XU, it is the CG of this parabola, while 0.43 XU, it is this the total depth of the rectangle. So F into 0.43 XU. So this is the area. This is this area of the rectangle, and 2/3 0.57 XU. And this is the area of the trapezium. So if you just solve all those things. So final value you will get that y bar is 0.42 x, 0.42 x, or you can say that Cu is nothing but the compression force, compression force from the extreme fiber in the compression. So, so what what we have done? Oh, okay. This is the stress distribution diagram, and from this stress distribution diagram, 0.43 x, 0.57 x, and this is 0.47, 0.42 x. That is the distance what we got. This is 0.42 x. This is a rectangle, and this is your parabola. Area of rectangle, area of parabola, and we got 0.42 x as the final one. Similarly, we can even get total compressive force as well. What you got here is the distance of the or the depth of the compressive force. Compressive force, where it is going to act, you just look at here. This is the compressive force. This is compressive force which is going to act at this location. At what is the location? 0.42 times xc. While what is the tensile force? This is your tensile force Tu. Tu, which is acting at this location, and for that it's up to that part itself. You have to just consider this strain diagram as well as the stress diagram. You can see that there is no stress after this neutral axis, or in the lower side of the neutral axis. So there is no stress distribution, or in the upper side itself, the stress distribution is there. Then this part itself only will be taken care for the compression part, and this will be taken care for the stress distribution. While for the strain, if you just look at the strain, so strain, the whole rectangular section will be applicable. But for the stress, you can see only this part itself. And this stress distribution have two parts. There is a one rectangle, and then this is your parabolic part. So you have to calculate the area of this rectangle part, and then you have to calculate area of the parabola, and consider the CG of this particularly rectangle part, and then CG of this. So you can consider it from the top side. So top side you got here 0.43 x cube by 2, and then 0.43 x cube plus 3/8 of 0.57 x cube. So that is how you will get if you just go on calculating this 0.42 x cube. What you have done, you have just simply taken this as that particularly how to calculate the value, and for that y bar you have just considered from the y bar itself. You got here the depth of that particularly compressive force. Now once you got the depth of the compressive force, so now the next part is to calculate this value. What is the value of now compressive force? So what is the value of the compressive force? So you know that this stress equals to load divided by area. So P divided by A. So if you know this thing, so force will be equals to stress multiplied by area. So that is how this stress multiplied by area has been considered, or you can say area of the stress block multiplied by width. So that is uh, this is how the formula has been applied to calculate the compressive force. So again, if you just refer that particularly diagram, now here this is Okay. So this is the A part here. A part which is suppose if you just consider the similar triangle, so the depth of this it is considered as A. So from here, if you just now look at that, yes, so epsilon Cu divided by Xu, you will get 0.002 divided by. This is simply based on this area, and that is nothing but, so you got here A, right? This is your epsilon Cu. This is your epsilon Cu here, and this is your A. So epsilon Cu divided by Xu, that is the depth, and then 0.002, that's the value, and here divided by A. So from here, with the help of similar triangle of the strain diagram, so here what you will get in terms of XU, you will get the value in terms of XU. So A is equals to 0.57 XU. Okay, so just a minute. Okay, so this is A, the value of A is coming out to be 0.57 times XU. And what is the area of stress block? So you know that this area of the stress block, if you just consider, so this is the like this rectangle up to this part, and then trapezium, parabolic. So area of rectangle and area of parabola, that is the combined one. So 0.45 FCK into XU minus A plus 2/3 of 0.45 FCK into A. So these are the two parts which have been considered for the area of rectangle. 0.45 FCK, 0.45 FCK. This is the width. You can say this is your 0.45 FCK, and XU minus A, because you are considering this as total XU and this is your A. So accordingly, this is the area of simple, we are just considering the area of rectangle part and area of the parabola part. So if you just calculate this and put the value of A as 0.57 XU, 0.57 XU here. So accordingly, here also just put the value, and finally you will get this as your compressive force. Well, if you're more interested in that case only, you can go in much detail. But yes, for this point of view, you just know, or you should know the value itself or this formula itself, that this would be applicable in the upcoming design part. So this compressive force, how this compressive force have been arrived. So this has been checked, but if you just consider the similar triangle of the strain diagram, you will get this A part as 0.57 XU. And if you just consider the area of stress block, calculate the area of stress block. From that itself, you will get this 0.36 FCK XU into B. Why B? Because we are considering this area of stress block multiplied by B is nothing but this total compressive force. So that's the final compressive force you will get. What is the compressive force? Because if you just consider in this diagram itself, so this is your compressive force, and based on this similar triangle, and this is the value, and here it is the value from this itself, and this is your 0.456, this is 0.43 and 0.57, and accordingly you will get this Cu. So here Cu is the one which is important, or how you got the Cu or the compressive force. Once you know that, then we can move towards the total tensile force. Now, total tensile force, how is the total tensile force have been arrived? So, total tensile force, that is equals to area of steel multiplied by stress. So, force, as you know, this is equals to stress equals to force divided by area. So, force equals to stress multiplied by area. So you got your stress and you got your area of the steel. So area of the steel, as you know that it is AST, while what is the stress? So stress equals to Fy divided by gamma m. Fy divided by gamma m. So that is the stress for the tension part. For the tension part. Fy, as you know, Fy, what is Fy? Fy is characteristic strength of the steel. Characteristic strength of the steel, and you have to divide it by the partial safety factor, that is gamma m. Gamma m, it is the partial safety factor, and for the steel it is 1.15. So if you replace that, you will get Cu, that is the tensile force, in terms of 0.87 Fy into AST. So or you can say this particularly tensile force. So tensile force is depend upon which steel you are going to consider, whether it is 250 Fe 250 grade of steel, whether it is 415 grade of the steel, or whether it is 500 grade of the steel. And apart from that, what is the ASC? Which kind of diameter of bar you are going to apply, whether it is 12 mm, 16 mm, 20 mm, 22 mm. So likewise, there are many parts. So tensile force, it totally depends upon which grade of the steel you are going to apply, or which grade of the steel you are going to apply in the, or you are going to provide in the concrete tension zone. Sometimes even if you have to provide it in the compression zone also. And AST depends upon which grade of the sorry, which diameter of the steel you are going to use, and how many numbers are there. How many numbers are there? So depend upon that, this tensile force will vary. Similarly, if you just look at this compressive force, there are parameters. FCK, that is the characteristic strength of the concrete. So this grade of the concrete, you can say that could be M20, that could be M25, then that could be M30 grade of the concrete, 35 grade of the concrete. So most of the time you may see this either 20 or 25. So FCK, the value may range either 20 or 25 most of the time in the problem you may see. And XU, that is the value of XU. What is the value of XU? So that we will see it. And width of the concrete section. So width of the concrete section. So if you have this as the rectangular part, so this is going to be the width of the concrete section. So as told you, how to calculate neutral axis. So neutral axis, to calculate the neutral axis, you should again understand that yes, here if you want to calculate this neutral axis, so first of all you should know Cu and then Tu. Both are equal and opposite. Both are equal and opposite. So based on that, based on this Cu and Pu, that is the compressive force as well as the tensile force, depend upon these two values, you will be able to find out what is the value or what is the distance of this neutral axis. And so if you just simply replace, you got here Cu, value of Cu as you have seen in the earlier slide, 0.36 FCK XU into B, and Tu, that is 0.87 Fy into ASC. So just if you just move it in this part, so you will get 0.87 FYSC by 0.36 FCK into B. So this formula will be most of the time we will be using while designing different parameters. So as I told you, mostly this derivation part, if you are more interested, then only then you can go for that. But otherwise, you should know what is the value of Tu, what is the value of Cu, what is the value of Xu, likewise. So now once you know Xu, you know that Xu is nothing but this is the neutral axis distance from top fiber. From this top fiber, what is this distance? So we'll be going through maximum or limiting values of Xu or the neutral axis distance. What is the maximum value or the limiting value? So as we have seen that it depends upon the grade of the steel as well as ASC. So for mild steel, if you just consider the mild steel, the maximum strain in the steel or epsilon, that is Fy divided by 1.15 into ES plus 0.002. So that's the formula which was seen earlier. Now, since we are considering it is as the mild steel, what is the grade? 250. So 250 has been assigned here. Now, once you assign 250 here, 1.15, what is the ES? ES is the modulus of elasticity for steel. Modulus of elasticity for the steel, that is, what is the value? 2 into 10 raised to the power 5 Newton per mm square. Newton per mm square. So plus 0.002, if you just add, so you will get this 0.00308. So that's the strain, maximum strain in the steel. So it has no unit. It has no unit. So 0.00308, it is the strain and maximum strain, you will get it. Now for this mild steel, if you just calculate with the help of this similar triangle, as you have seen in the earlier diagram, so if you just calculate xu divided by epsilon u and then d minus xu by epsilon cu, so you will get here 0.53 d, 0.53 times d. Now what is here d? D is the effective depth. What is effective depth? So if you just consider here as AST, you got here area. So the depth of the up to this part, this is called as a effective depth. So 0.53 times effective depth of this cross section of beam or the slab mostly, that is considered as the for limiting maximum value of XU for the mild steel. For mild steel. So 0.53 times D. So again, as you have seen that yes, you should know the value of Cu. You should know the value of Pu. Again, what is Xu? So apart from that, if you are going to use this 250 grade of the steel, so what is the value of Xu? So Xu value of XU is 0.53 times D. 0.53 times D. And limiting or maximum value of XU. So limiting or maximum value of XU, we can say that XU max equals to 0.43 times D, or even it is called as a KU max. So that is the neutral axis factor. The neutral axis factor is something 0.53. So 0.53, that is this neutral axis factor. And same way, this was calculated for the mild steel. Now instead of 250, if you just replace it with this Fe415 or 415 only, or Fe500, so that according to that, so you will get this as the value of XU max will get changed, will get slightly changed. So the method is same. Method is again same. Formula is to be applied in the same way. This is the same thing. Fy by 1.15 ES plus 0.002. Replace it 250 by 415 or 500. So if you replace it accordingly, you will get the value of epsilon SU as this one, and based on it, you will be able to calculate XU by the similar triangle. Theory, and this was 0.53 times D for the mild steel grade. 0.53 times mild steel grade. But what is the value if we just take 415? So as we have seen, suppose now this is the table, that is the maximum value of XU, or we can say XU max for the different steel. So mild steel, if you are applying, as you have seen, 250 grade of the concrete, what is the maximum value? 0.53 times D. So you should remember this. Then if you are going to apply 415, so as seen, replace it with the replace 250 by 415, so you will get 0.48 times D. And if you replace it by 500, so you will get 0.46 times D. And what is the maximum strain epsilon SU if we just consider it similar triangles? So final values 0.00308, 0.00380, and 0.00417. It goes on increasing. This goes on increasing, maximum strain value. So maximum strain value goes on increasing. But if you just look at your XU max, this multiplying factor get decreases. 0.53, then 0.48, then 0.46. 0.53 for 250, 0.41, 0.48 for 415, and 0.46 for 500. And maximum strain, it is this one, 0.00308, 0.00380, and 0.00417. So this is the table. We have to consider it directly while designing the problem, depending on which kind of grade of the steel you are going to use. So depending on that, you have to just directly take XU max, the value of XU max. So similarly, we can even calculate maximum percentage of the reinforcement. Maximum percentage of the reinforcement, this is again another criteria. As you have seen, as I told you that you should know these values, more specifically CU, then TU, XU, then XU max, then value of XU max for different grade of the steel. And now percentage of the reinforcement. What should be the percentage of the reinforcement? Or we can say this is denoted by PTLIM, or limiting value of percentage of the steel. So let us consider it for mild steel. So for mild steel, you know that XU max value of XU max is 0.53 times D. Okay, take this D in this side, so you will get XU max by D ratio as 0.53. Okay, XU max by D ratio is 0.53. But also you know the value of XU 0.87 FY by 0.36 FCK into B. What is the value? So you got here this is the, let us say this is your the first equation, and if you just now if you just simply divide it by D, so you will get here as the second value, or you can get as a second value as D. So this is going to be B into D. So if you just equate 1 and 2 now, what I'm saying, just mark again, you know that XU max equals to 0.53 times D, as you have seen earlier. What is now XU max by D? If you just take the D in this way, you will get 0.53. You know XU, or the value of XU, or the maximum value of XU is 0.87 FYASC divided by 0.36 FCK into B. Now this value, we got it in the earlier slide. Now just divided by D here, D here. So you will get, now this is the first equation, this is your second equation, and obviously this is multiplied by B. And if you just equate these two equations, so final thing, you will get this 0.53 equals to 0.87 FYSC by 0.36 FCK BD. So just take ASC upon BD now. Now consider ASC upon BD. So if you just take to this side and this is on the other side and equate it, ASC upon BD will be equals to, so this is equals to, this is going to be equals to ASC upon BD, and this is 0.53 into 0.36 FCK by 0.87 FY. Consider this as the third equation. And now PT limited. What is the formula for percentage of the steel? So percentage of the steel, that value or that equation is ASC upon BD multiplied by 100. ASC upon BD. ASC is the area of the steel. BD, if you just consider it as this is going to be B and this is going to be D up to this part itself. Now put those value of ASC upon BD. It is this one. Okay. Multiplied by 100. Now here, if you just consider this, if M15 grade of the steel or FCK value is 15. So put the value of FCK as 15 and you will get limiting value or the maximum percentage of the steel to be applied for M15 grade of the concrete. How much? 1.32 percentage. What does that mean? It means that maximum you can apply or you can provide only up to 1.32 percentage of the steel. 1.32 percentage of the steel. So it depends upon if you just look at this. This is the final equation. What it depends upon? It depends upon directly which kind of grade of the concrete you are going to apply. M15, M20, M25, M30, M35, M40 likewise. So maximum percentage of the reinforcement for M15 grade of the concrete, how much? 1.32%. So that's it. So we'll stop here today. We'll just consider or we'll just go for the next such things, or the use of again different parameter and how to use the parameter, what is the significance of it. So we'll see it in the next lecture. Yes, you can definitely mark your attendance to Google Classroom, and also go through the earlier recorded videos I already uploaded on it. And if you have any doubts, you can simply message me, or even you can just um, comment on the Google Classroom as well, or give me the message. Accordingly, we can rectify. So here we will stop. Thank you.